Today we are talking about another part of quadrilaterals. We're going to focus on the kites. Um, Kites look like kites. Well, except some kites don't look like that. But kites kind of look like diamonds, except that they're kites. And I'm just talking and wasting time so you can watch this guy being pulled by his kite. It's not very funny. Okay. So you need your little half sheet that has this stuff on it. So if you don't have that out, pause it, get it out, fill this stuff in. It's necessary. So a few things about a kite. This is an example of a kite. On a kite, this side and this side are congruent, and then these two pieces are congruent. On a kite, our diagonals make right angles. They're perpendicular there. And then this piece and this piece are congruent. I don't know how it changed from blue to green. Yikes. So these little pieces, the diagonals, are congruent. So it bisects that. Also, this angle and this angle are congruent. So I have some congruent angles there. And this angle and this angle are congruent. And then this angle and this angle are congruent. So there's a lot of stuff going on here in my kite. So to fill in our table, all 90-degree angles? Absolutely not. Hello? Okay. Number of opposite angles congruent. So we have one set of opposite angles congruent. That would be this one and this one. Those are my opposite angles congruent. Opposite sides parallel. I have 0. Opposite sides congruent. I have 0 because these are opposites and they're not congruent. I have these consecutive sides are congruent, but that's not a thing. Consecutive angles supplementary, that would be a no. Diagonals being congruent, that would be a no. Diagonals bisect each other, yes, but it's the long one bisects the short one. So the long bisects the short. But the long one is not bisected itself. So one of them does. They are perpendicular. And then the diagonals, the short one bisects the angles. Nope, said that backwards. Scratch that. Go back. Don't do that. Don't write it down. Don't write it down. Don't write it down. The long one bisects the angles. So remember, this one is not only bisecting this diagonal, but it's also bisecting these angles and bisecting these angles. So no, 1, 0, 0, no, no, yes, kind of, because the long bisects the short, yes, and then again, yes, kind of, because the long one bisects the angles. Okay. So we're going to do a few examples. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you flip to the back of your notes, it's blank so that you could do these with me. So this is a kite. The measure of angle 1. Go ahead and try it. Pause, try, come back and meet with me. So number 1 would be 90 degrees. OMG. It's driving me crazy. 90 degrees. Angle 2, so because this long one bisects this angle, this one is also 27. So if this is 90 and this is 27, we can do 180 minus 90 minus 27, so that would give us 63. So angle 2 is 63. Let's try another one. Go ahead and pause it, come back, see if you get the same things I got. Let's see, SE is 7. KI is 25. So SI has to be 7 because the long one bisects the short one. And then this right here is a right angle. So I just redrew this little triangle right here. This is KIS. So this is 25, 25, and 7. So we can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 7 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared. And then this ks, that's what we're looking for. And when we do our Pythagorean theorem, we get 24. Moving on, your next question. Go ahead and try it on your own. So MO, MN, and LO. So this whole piece is 16. MN is 17. LO is 10. So find LN. So we have to do 2 separate little triangles. So if this whole piece is 16, then we can do, where's my eraser? I'm going to change that so we have 8 and 8 so you can see the triangles. So we have, if we're trying to find LN, we can do this triangle, and then we can do this triangle, and then you could add those pieces together. So we have 8 squared plus b squared equals 10 squared, and then we have 8 squared plus b squared equals 17 squared. And then solve for both of those and add them together, and you get 21. This one should be 6 and this one should be 15, just in case. All right, moving on to number 4. We have BC is 5, AD is 15, and then CDA, this whole angle is 88. So if the whole angle is 88, then we have a 44 and a 44. These are right angles. And I'm looking for AC. Zoop, zoop. So I can use this triangle. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And I have an angle and a side. I'm going to redraw it so you can see. I have 44 here, 15 here, and I'm looking for this. So I can do, this is opposite and hypotenuse. So I can do sine 44 equals x over 15. And then you would end up multiplying 15 times sine 44. And you get 10.42. And that's just one part of it. But if I want the whole thing, I would then have to multiply that by 2 to get 2084. So that's one way to solve it. If you solved it differently and you still got 2084, that is totes fine. No worries. And there's just one more problem and a few things we're looking for. So let's get started. We have M and O. This whole thing is 72. Can I make this bigger? Pause. Oh, okay, I take it back. I don't want to. Nah. Okay, forget it. I take it back. Okay, so M and O, this whole angle down here is 72. And then O, L, M, this whole angle is 98. Well, anything with a P in the middle is 90 degrees. I got that one. N, M, P, okay, M, L, N. So to find these two pieces, it's just half of 98 because that long one bisects the angles. So these are 49. P and O, that's the same kind of situation. So 72 divided by 2 gives you 36 for each of those. And then to find these, so remember that these are congruent and the whole thing has to equal 360. So if I take 360 minus 98 minus 72, that gives me what I have left, which equals 190. And if I divide that by 2, by my two angles, then these are both 95. Actually, I didn't even have to do that, but that's okay. It's okay that we just know that. Life is good. So my last two that I'm looking for is NMP, this part, and LOM, which is this part. So I have triangles. This is 90 degrees and this one's 90 degrees. So I have 90 here and 36 here. I can just subtract. So that one's 54. And then the same thing, I have 90 here and 49 here. So I can subtract and get that. So hey, we didn't have to do the 95 thing, but if you look at my 54 plus my 41, it should equal 95, and it does. So that's kind of cool, I guess. All right, that's it. Now you can work on your kite homework because you are kite experts.